All right, so we've been in the midst of a series entitled Too Blessed to Be What? When I tell you, man, I haven't gotten this many inboxes, bro, in a long time. People have been inboxing me saying, hey, you blessed me Sunday. Like there were parts of me that was hurt that I didn't really even know was still hurt, that I had placed in my heart where I was still somewhat bitter, and the Lord began to deal with me on that. Hear me, one person inboxed me and said, Pastor Mike, to hear you admit that you had seasons of your life where you were bitter, free me to admit that there were seasons of my life where I was struggling with some stuff. And I hope you handle this. I said this last week. Some people let what happened to them become what grows in them. But when God's hand is truly on your life, you reach a point where you can say, I've been through too much grace to stay stuck in old grudges. I'm gonna say this and only 7 of y'all are gonna receive it. There's some blessings coming with my name on it. 7 of y'all should have shouted, I received that. I can't stay stuck. Please, if you don't put nothing in your notes, write that bold. I can't stay stuck in old conversations, stuck in what happened 7 years ago, stuck in the pain of my past, stuck in the rejection of my past, stuck in the seasons of loneliness that I endured. Hear me when I say this, God has something so special in store for you, but if we don't deal with the places of our life where we've developed bitterness, it's going to block our blessings. And as a pastor, I don't know how to be anything other than myself. I don't know how to preach in a preacher's voice. I just preach in the regular voice I talk in. I don't know how to portray myself as something that I'm not. I only know how to use transparency and be myself authentically. And as a pastor, as a man of God, as anointed as I am, as much as I love God, I am also bold enough to say I've had seasons of my life where I was bitter. Now let me free you. And I'm not talking about 20 years ago. No, I've had seasons of my life where I was bitter 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, a year ago. There are things in my life I'm starting to realize now, because at the end of the year, I sit back and I reflect and I make notes and I talk to myself. Okay, well, how did I feel about XYZ? As things happen, you might want to steal this from your pastor. As I go through things in the year, I got a note in my phone where when something happens that hurts me, I make a note. And at the end of the year, I go back to my notes and address my pain. So you can't heal what ain't been diagnosed. So no, literally, I've been going through my notes in my phone like, that hurt. That took something out of me. Man, I can see where I got a little bit more guarded here. Why, PMJ? Hope you catch this. Because bitterness is discipleship in reverse. Bitterness is discipleship in reverse. Discipleship makes you more like Christ, while bitterness makes you more like your wounds. One makes you heal while the other makes you hide. That's critical. And what I'm telling you is you are in a season of your life where you have to heal. I'm gonna say that again. You have to heal. I want you to hear me because I'm being very intentional when I say this. I'm not saying you need to heal. I am saying you have to heal. There are doors that God is opening for you in 2026 that the broken you gonna blow. You got to heal so you can be all that God has called you to be. I told you that bitterness is an infection, not an emotion. People think bitterness is a feeling. It's not. It was happened when a wound never fully heals. Bitterness is what happens when a wound never fully heals. And that's what I'm trying to get us to do. The boldness to deal with the areas of our lives that haven't fully healed. And I told you, bitterness spreads through your thoughts, settles in your identity, and starts speaking in your voice. It will cause you to sabotage relationships, misread love, and mistrust blessings. That's critical, Pastor Mike. Why is that important? Because bitterness turns self-defense into self-destruction. Michael, bitterness turns self-defense into self-destruction. No, you will think you're protecting yourself and don't realize you're hurting yourself. I got an inbox this week from a brother. He said, Pastor Mike, I sat in my room all day, man, just thinking about the stuff you preach. He said, it didn't hit me. I had 2 friends hit me and say, man, he said, I apologize to my friends because I said, hey, man, there's some place in my life where I had blind spots. I didn't realize I was still hurt. I was keeping people off. They said, man, we wanted to help you. But you so defensive, and every time we try to jump in and help, you get so aggressive that we didn't even know if we had a right to jump in and help. So because you're so defensive, we don't even know if we can help you. But then he's sitting at home like, they don't even love me enough to help. Not realizing it was his own bitterness and his own self-defense that was blocking his blessing. I'm gonna say this, only 3 of y'all gonna catch it. 2 of y'all may have church with me when I say this. I gotta heal because there are blessings looking for me. I'm in the wrong church. I'm gonna say it again, and 3 of y'all gonna receive that. I have to heal because there are blessings that are looking for me. I can't walk around upset. I can't walk around mad. I can't be worried about if this person gonna be a snake or a liar. I can't worry about if they gonna betray me or play me. God got me. I am too blessed to be walking around dealing with life by myself because I never dealt with the pieces of me that have not healed. I'm gonna say this, blessings are looking for me. You ought to just speak that over your own life right there. You ought to just lay hands on your own heart and say, blessings are looking for me. No, you out here stressing out trying to find opportunities and don't even realize when you heal, those opportunities are about to chase you down. Blessings are looking for you. And I told you that bitterness is a blessing blocker. It makes you blind. It causes you to see everything, pause, parenthetically digress, and everyone wrong. That's what bitterness does. It causes you to see everything and everyone wrong. That's why you got to heal. Because you are looking at certain people as enemies who are really a blessing and looking at people who you think are blessing who are really enemies. Bitterness got you trauma bonding with people who will never help you and running from people who will actually heal you. Bitterness got you in stuff that you should not even be in. Hear me when I say this, man. So hear me, blessings are looking for me. And that's where we find ourselves in today's text. In 2 Samuel chapter 9, verse 1, David comes and it's on the screen. It says, is anyone, this can preach, in Saul's family still alive, anyone to whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake? I think I'm gonna preach right here, then teach the rest of the day. Is there anyone, go back, moving too quick. Is anyone alive in Saul's family, anyone to whom I can show kindness for Jonathan's sake? Are you taking notes right here? In your notes, I want you to write this, Saul's family. Saul's family. I want you to put that in your notes. Saul's family. So if you're taking notes, and I love the way you guys are taking notes, I want you to write it like this. Put Saul's family. Put that right there in your notes. Saul's family. Draw a line under Saul's family. Under Saul's family, write Saul. Then write Jonathan. All right. Then write blessed. Jesus Christ, you missed it. Saul is beefing with David. This is why you got to have a mature person in your life who can tell your story right. Because if I was immature, I would say Saul and David beefing. But Saul and David ain't beefing. Saul got a problem with David. David ain't got no problem with Saul. See, that's why 6 people got your testimony twisted, because they say, I heard y'all don't like each other. No, I don't know them not to like them. No, something about my favor offended them. They got a problem with me. I ain't got no... That's for 3 co-workers, 2 cousins, and your old friends who think you sitting around thinking about them. I'm not thinking about you. I'm about what God called me to be right now. David has not disrespected Saul. David never disrespected Saul. David never disrespected Saul. David never disrespected Saul. What are you talking about? He did nothing. Saul's issue with David ain't because of what David did to him. It's because people started seeing David in a different light than they say Saul. They said Saul killed his thousands, but David killed his tens of thousands. Saul couldn't handle that the favor on David's life started making other people say, that boy got something that he ain't got. Please stop judging me based off of what God put on me. If I ain't did nothing to you to offend you, it's not my fault. I'm favored, gifted, and anointed. I need you to touch 3 people and tell them it's not my fault. I didn't decide to be favored. I didn't pick this anointing. You got better clothes than me. You got a better car than me. You make more money than me. Yet you still worried about me because the anointing on my life hit different. Saul, David ain't did nothing but honored Saul. David come in Saul's presence. He started worshiping, playing his harp, trying to help him. David worshiping. Saul picks out a spear, throws the spear at David. It missed. You wanna know why certain people are frustrated with you? Because how you taking shots? And they miss. See, some of y'all spend too much time throwing shots back. No, the greatest thing you can do to somebody throwing shots at you is to live your life in a way that show them it missed. I don't know who I'm preaching to. All the super saved folks, you can sit still. But if it's some stuff that's missed you, you ought to just bust a 360 and say, it missed. Pain missed me. Hurt missed me. Your lies missed me. Your disrespect missed me. David is anointed, and David ain't did nothing to nobody. David walking around like all I'm doing is loving God, loving people, and trying to make a difference. But many men wish death upon me, Lord. I don't try no more. But have mercy on David. Like, I ain't did nothing to none of these people. And so after a while, David had opportunities to kill Saul and didn't do it. He's like, you know what, boy, you know I could have killed you, right? No, we was in the cave and you was asleep. I cut off a piece of your robe and showed you if I wanted to put hands on you, I could do it now. Don't mistake my meekness for weakness. I'm saved, not soft. Don't get the two mixed up now. If I wanted to touch you, I could touch you. Let's be real. I know your mama, your cousin. I know your baby mama. I'm just playing. So David is like, I could have took you out, but God told me not to. After a while, God says, no, it's time. David takes everybody out. He kills Saul. He kills the whole bloodline. So the reason this brother is crippled is because during this time, when the king was killed and a new king took over, they would kill the entire bloodline so no new lineage could rise up. It's almost like somebody taking over my kingdom. They would go take out all my sons because they didn't want none of them. They wouldn't just take out Xander and Michael and Mason. They would even take out my 8-year-old because in 15 years he can come back. So the nurse hears this. She picks up the baby, takes out running to protect him, but what she do? She drop him. That's what we're gonna pick up today. She drop him. And a drop is when someone you trusted the most hurt you the worst. She drop him. Now she didn't drop him intentionally. She ain't dirty. She didn't pick him up and throw him. She dropped him. I told you last week, I want you to always view life through a different lens. She could have left him. Can I ask you a question? I never forget when the fire broke loose during church this year. So much stuff happened at our church, good and just stuff. It'd be like 10 years worth of stuff at our church. Remember we went to the Civic Center? Remember we went to the so-and-so? Remember, didn't it hit me? I was like, we had a fire this year. Remember we was in church and then the fire broke loose in the children's wing. What blessed me the most was no children's church worker got so scared that they ran out the building and left kids. No, come here, let me get you. No, come here, let me get you. They were prepared for this moment. You know, but let me free you. But if they would have grabbed a child and dropped him, we would be upset because the child was dropped. But we can't frame it like, I can't believe she was just as scared. People don't give you enough credit that yes, you weren't everything they needed you to be, but they don't realize you was trying to be to them what you didn't even know how to be to you and was still dealing with the stuff you had to deal with all at the same time. I'm sorry I didn't call you back. I know you were stressed, but I was too. I'm sorry I couldn't help you with that bill. I was just as broke as you. I'm sorry I didn't stay on the phone with you that night. My man was tripping. I'm sorry I didn't do so-and-so. My family was toe up. See, we need to normalize being brutally honest and telling folk, no, I'm not gonna let you run with that narrative no more. I didn't leave you hanging. I was barely hanging on myself. Am I preaching to anybody? Can I preach to 3 people who barely got your stuff together and you still trying to make sure everybody else got their stuff together? And then they got the audacity to tell you, you ain't been there for me. And part of you want to say, you know what? I wouldn't even be broke if I wasn't trying to help all y'all at the same. Am I preaching to anybody? So she picked him up. She's running and she dropped him. That's critical. She dropped him. She dropped him. She dropped him. This is critical. This is critical. She dropped him. Because you will always get dropped when you're surrounded by people that operate by fear and not by faith. Fear, you will always get dropped when you're surrounded by people that operate by fear and not by faith. Please listen to your pastor. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect, none of that stuff. Whenever I go through something, I preach about it and I try to share with you how I'm coming through it. That's all I'm doing, okay? So here's what I need you to do. I need you to start sitting back and I need you in your group thread with the people who matter most to create that group thread and say, hey guys, where do we need to heal? Because being unequally yoked ain't just about who you marrying. No. So let me free you, okay? Let's say y'all in a circle and 2 of y'all coming to church and 2 of y'all dealing with y'all bitterness, but then the other 3 want to address their issues. So now you in covenant with people who keep triggering you. There are certain relationships I had to loose in my life because I started appearing abusive. Can we go there? There are certain relationships in my life, friendships, that I had to terminate because I started appearing abusive. Notice I didn't say I was abusive, but I appeared abusive. I was so hell-bent, I won't say hell-bent, I can't say that. I was so determined to be the best version of myself. And I'm one of those friends that when you tell me you want something, I'm going to see to it that you get it. I started becoming overwhelmingly aggressive. Have you did so-and-so? No, you need to get up. You need to so-and-so. Oh, you don't really want it. And they were like, no, it's like you keep attacking me. I thought I was motivating them, but it felt like attacks because they were saying they wanted something out their mouth that their actions did not match. So I had to come to the realizations, I don't think we can be in covenant no more. Because at this point in my life, we are unequally yoked. I'm trying to get better. You don't mind being bitter. Either I'm gonna drag you to better or you gonna drag me to bitter. And because of the way my heart's set up, I'm not gonna drag you to better because a part of me has survivor's remorse where whenever God does something good in my life, I try my best to dummy it down so we all can feel like he did it for us, when in actuality, he just did it for me. So then I end up becoming bitter, not at what happened in my past. I am now bitter with myself because I don't like the version of myself that does not know how to release people. So now you happy that you got your friend back. I'm miserable, but I'm not who I'm hitting. Y'all don't want to have church with me. And what I'm telling you is, it's hard for you to be better in the company of bitter. Oh my God, that was good. Put this in your notes. Leslie, put this in the notes. Better, B-E-T-T-E-R. I love how you making sure she take notes right there. That's next level right there. No, put that in notes right there. We're gonna look at that when we get to the crib. I like that, bro. That's leadership right there, girl. So I want you to put better, B-E-T-T-E-R. Under better, write bitter, B-I-T-T-E-R. What's the difference between better and bitter? As long as it's always about you, you're gonna stay where you at. I don't like it. I don't feel like it. I don't understand. I don't want it. I shouldn't have to feel. And God is like, well, since it's all about you, you gonna stay bitter. The difference between bitter and better is the ability to deal with what I've been running from. This good. It's good. She drops him. She drops him and he becomes crippled. Now, there are local colloquialisms that suggest he got dropped on his head. I heard a preacher say this once. He said there was an old age local colloquialism: to be dropped and lame in both feet means that you were dropped on your head, and the head trauma caused your feet not to work. There's no biblical backing that suggests that that's true. I can't find it, so I can't really stand on that if I can't proof text it. But what it does mean is this: it's on the screen. The text is not merely reporting a physical injury. It is revealing a psychological imprint. It's on the screen. Because trauma not only altered his mobility, it altered his identity. Wow. Trauma not only altered his mobility, it altered his identity. He didn't just lose the ability to walk. He lost the ability to believe he belonged. What you went through wasn't just about what you went through. You've been so focused on what happened to you that you miss what's been altered in you. Please put that in your notes. You've been so focused on what happened to you that you have missed what altered in you. Yes, they lied on you. You don't realize your ability to trust has been altered in you. So you dealt with the fact that they lied, but don't realize what's missing. I never forget when my house got broken. I was living on the east side and our church started blowing up. And so we had 6, 7 services every Sunday. So they knew where I was going to be. And every Sunday at 12:30, my deacons would walk in church and they would wave at me in church. I would in church and they would break in my house at the 12:30 service every week. Just break in. And it's like they would break in the garage, take something out the garage, break in the garage, boom, take. Then once they realized that my alarm was just there for decoration, I wasn't paying that alarm bill. Who else ain't paid your alarm bill? Anybody? It go off, ain't nobody coming in Jesus' name. They're like, I was just trying to, I thought that would be enough. Evidently, they broke in and it went off and they went in the bushes. And like an hour later, didn't nobody show up. Then they just in there cooking, just taking their time. They would go upstairs. I didn't care. They just take stuff out the garage and boom. They got in the den, took some stuff, boom. It didn't break me till they took my PlayStation. Oh, we had to call the police then. There's somebody going to jail. Somebody going to jail now. And I never forget, this is critical. I need you to catch this. They had broke in so many times that we didn't realize what they stole till we went and looked for it. I never get one day my wife was like, have you seen my earrings, the ones we got? I was like, so what you talking about? She's like, then we both looked and said, they got your earrings. That wasn't on the police report though, because we could tell the TV was missing. I could tell the PlayStation was missing. I could tell the lawnmower was missing. But there were certain things that we didn't know were missing until we went for it. You so busy on what you survived, you don't even realize what's missing till you reach for it. The reason you snap so quick now is that you don't realize, yeah, you made it through that trauma, but your peace been gone. So when you go to pull on your peace to keep your mind, now ain't no peace there and you're losing it because yes, you made it through. You don't know what didn't. This brother, this is critical. He look at, put it back on the screen. I want them to see this because trauma not only altered his mobility, Michael, it altered his identity. He didn't just lose the ability to walk. He lost the ability to believe he belonged. What I'm finna say is gonna feel simplistic in nature, but for some reason, when I say it, if you hear me with your spiritual ear, something in your spirit finna click. I belong. I'm in the wrong church. Some of you need to stop disrespecting yourself. You play yourself so weak and you play down your gift and your abilities and your talent so much. You dumb yourself down so people don't feel offended or intimidated. That season is over. I cannot continue. It is not healthy for me to hide me from me. So you can be comfortable with you. If you really knew who I was, you would be grateful and want me to be me, because the more I'm me, the better you gonna be. I belong. Hear me. I got invited to this meeting. At a country club about 3 weeks ago, right? At a country club, and I was excited to go there because I love relationships now. I want my entire 40s to be marked by relationships, okay? I want my 40s, from 40 to 50, I want 10 to 12 relationships that at any moment can change anybody's life. That's my goal. I want a relationship with somebody so powerful that if your child got in trouble and that's a good kid, and we know he was just with the wrong people, I can make one call. Hey, son, this is a good kid. Pastor Mike, on your word. I want relationships. See, I don't need the money. If God sent me that, that's cool. I want the relationships. I want you to be like, Pastor Mike, they finna take some. Give me hey, man, what's going on, man? Hey, I just talked to the president of the bank. He said, don't worry about it. Yeah, I want relationships. So I got this meet, and I'm excited to be there, and we get there. But y'all know me. I'm not putting on clothes for nobody, really. So when I get there, the man gonna ask me, like, hey, can we help you? And yes, can we help you is the right question. But it was the spirit behind the can we help. It was the, can we help you? It wasn't a, hey, can we help you? No, it was more of a, can we help you? He made me look at me like, I was like, no, I'm good. We good. Are you here to meet somebody? I said, yeah, yeah. He was like, all right, cool. Have you dined with us before? I was like, no. Like, so cool. So who you here? I said, why are you asking me all these questions? He's like, sir, we're just trying to see. Then my friend walked up, hey, Michael, how's it going? He gave me the good handshake. The other guy gave me the good handshake. And he's like, oh, okay, we're just going to get you guys seated. And I said, no. I said, he was treating me because of what I had on, like I ain't belong. I said, I ain't trying to be funny. He's like, well, everybody here normally has the khaki pants, white shirt, blue blazer. I said, well, I got on a jogging suit. Don't think I don't belong because I don't look like you. See, some of you finna be really hard to deal with because you've allowed people to keep you out of places you should be in because you didn't think you belong. Well, I don't really come from a family like that. Well, I ain't really got the money to know. Who asked you that? I never forget in the Bible when Jesus rose up on a brother who was lame, he said, do you wish, Michael, to be made whole? Do you wish, Michael, to be made whole? He said, no, I'm asking you one question. Do you want it or do you not? And I'm gonna separate the real from the fake right here because I am done walking in rooms like I'm grateful to be there. I belong in this room. Why should I have to walk in here smiling like I'm grateful? You don't know the work I put in. You don't know the sacrifice I put in. And you don't know who my God is. I need you to touch 5 people and tell them I belong. I belong. I belong at big tables. I belong in neighborhoods with gates. I belong at certain banks with certain amounts. I belong on certain levels. God did not bring me this far just to bring me this far. I am the righteousness of God. I belong. Some of y'all ain't applied and you know, well, I ain't got the qualifications. So what? The worst they can do is not call you back. When you get home, fill it out, press send like you belong. When you leave here today, go through some of these neighborhoods and just ride around and see what your future neighbors look like because you belong. The dealership closed anyway. Just pull up at the dealership today, go up under the thing and just walk around and touch it and say, I belong in this right here. You ought to just tell your neighbor right now, you are too blessed. You are too gifted. You are too favored. You are too anointed. You are too kind. You are too respectful. You are too blessed to be bitter. I belong. This it right here, Dre. I feel it. Hear me when I say this. So when we arrive to chapter 9, we find Mephibosheth all grown up, living in a place called, I got 10 minutes, Lodabar. He's living, put that in your notes, Lodabar. 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 L-O-D-E-B-R. Y'all was struggling with that Lodabar. Whenever all y'all do this, then y'all done figured out I got these screens too. Y'all like, Lodabar. He's living in Lodabar. Put this in your notes. Because Lodabar isn't just where he lived, it's where he survived. Why is that important, PMJ? Because this isn't a random detail. It's revelation through geography. Whenever you see a city or a place named in the Bible, that's intentional because all names carry definition. They didn't randomly call a city Birmingham. They named that place Lodabar because it is revelation through geography. Lodabar isn't just where he lived, it's what he survived. All right. Say that better, Mike. A lot about who you are would change if you understood. So I'm so grateful. I'm from Ansley, 1501 51st Street. I love Ansley. Hear me when I say this. We left Ansley when I went to the seventh grade. Up until then, I was Green Acres, Central Park Elementary, Green Acres Middle School. I love being from Ansley, okay? Hear me when I say this. I hope you catch this. Ansley is not just where I lived, it's where I survived. Because a lot of my friends didn't. You see, a lot of them locked up. I know a lot of them who died. That's why when they see me, they be like, boy, we're so proud of you. Because it ain't just where I lived, it's where I survived. So I want you to think about where you come from. You didn't just live there, this revelation. It's where I survived. What is Lodabar? Put this in your notes. Lodabar translates in the Hebrew to mean no pasture, no word. No pasture, no word. So think about this. Mephibosheth is the heir to the throne living in Lodabar. He should have a feast, but he's at a place with no food. He should be honored as a king, but he's in a place of no honor. No pasture, no word. Lodabar. Lodabar. Some of your relationships are Lodabar. Put this in your notes. Put this in your notes. Andre gave me this note in the back. He made a joke, and now I'm finna turn it into a message, okay? All my singles. I end up in relationships that are low to bar when the bar low. When the bar low. No. It represents no vegetation, no growth, no communication, no promise. In Lodabar, everybody walking around defeated. In Lodabar, ain't nobody communicating because don't nobody want to be there. If you get food, they gonna kill you for it. So he ain't just in a place of no pasture. This is crazy. Go back a slide for me if you don't mind. There it is. Thank you so much. Go back. There it is. Right there. Go. No, you're good. Go back forward. Lodabar needs no pasture, no what? No word. I had somebody tell me, they said, Pastor Mike, man, I like coming to your church. I ain't got it all together yet. I ain't ready to be no, woo to woo. He said, but that's what he said to me. I love it. He's like, hey, I ain't trying to be no like woo to woo. All I'm saying is like, when I do come with my girl, you be saying some real stuff. I appreciate that. I told him, I said, can I free you real quickly? He's like, yeah. I said, even if you ain't got it all together and you still ain't even done doing what you're doing, at least you at a place where you're getting word. Put this in your notes. Word equals seed. Eventually it's gonna grow. He's at a place of no word. Spiritually, Lodabar is that season where Lodabar is that season where you're alive, but nothing is moving. That season of your life where you're here, but you're not hopeful. Where you're breathing, but you don't feel like you're building nothing. Lodabar represents, this is really good, say that better, Michael. Lodabar represents losing your identity after life hits. Life hit him and he lost his identity. Mephibosheth didn't start in Lodabar. Got 8 minutes. He fell into Lodabar. Literally and emotionally. He didn't end up in Lodabar because of rebellion. He landed there because of his trauma. Many people are in low places because they made bad choices. Sometimes I'm in a low place because pain pulled me there. We can't be judgmental. Look at him in Lodabar. He should be ashamed of himself. He didn't pick Lodabar. He was a baby. He got dropped and some kind of way ended up there. Put this in your notes. We're going to talk about this at some point. I don't know if I'm going to start a special Bible study based off it or we're going to figure it out. I want you to put this line in your notes. Pain picks. Painpicks. Pain picks. I wonder if we sat down and examined your life, how many decisions pain picked? That's why you shouldn't even be mad about some of the people you dated in your past. That was a pain pick. You were hurting and you had just dealt with some trauma you never fully healed, and a part of you just didn't want to be by yourself, and pain said you needed somebody. Yep. I'll never forget, we was going through one of the roughest seasons of our life. Bro, we ain't have nothing. Just broke as all get out. The church was exploding, but I've never been a money person. So you don't even realize, maybe up until about 6 years ago, really wasn't even getting a real salary for it. I would always give it back and pay this bill, pay this person. So we struggling, kids struggling. 2019, didn't even have money for Christmas. The leaders came together and gave me like $3,000 or $4,000. Remember that, Miss Jessica? Y'all got my Christmas. That was 2019. Big had just dropped. I ain't have nothing. I've never been a money person. I've always said, man, bless them, give them, God got me. You got me? So they came together behind my back, her Tiffany Ray, and they kind of got me some Christmas money. I'm crying like a baby because I ain't want to say nothing. I ain't want them to look down on me, but I really had good people in my life. But pain sometimes will make you think you don't want to be embarrassed. But I still wasn't going to be one of them preachers who was all about money, 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 money. And I randomly go to a dealership, right? Go to a dealership. I walk in, they lose it. Pastor Mike. I'm like, man, what's up, man? Oh my God. He run get the general manager. She walk out. Oh my God, Pastor Mike, we know what you want. I was like, oh man, I don't know. I was looking at that Camaro right there. But this true story. I'm like, man, that Camaro, was it a Camaro? I said, man, that Camaro, crazy, the black on black. You just took it off the truck. He's like, that's fresh. I'll tell you what, Pastor Mike good for it. Go ahead and get started paperwork. If Pastor Mike wanted a Camaro, let him get a Camaro. I'm like, y'all gonna run the credit? I'm like, y'all gonna, he's like, no, Pastor Mike, we know you guys, don't worry about that. So now I'm on the phone, hey, they finna give me a car, I ain't gotta put my credit in. So this is a true story. I go, boom. Next thing I know, I pull back up at the office at church. Everybody come outside. Oh! I had a black Camaro, had never been drove. They looking at me like, how you get the Camaro? I said, I went into the dealership. The lady was like, you Pastor Mike, we know you good for it. All I did was sign my name and boom, just left. I pull up at home, baby, look at the Camaro. She's like, wait, whoa. I'm Pastor Mike. I walked in there, was like, it's Pastor Mike. They just kind of gave it to me. That's when Tip was like, I don't think nobody's just gonna give you a car. She's like, tell me what you did. I said, I put my social security number down. They ain't even checked none. I'm Pastor Mike. I'm Pastor Mike. Why y'all ain't happy for me? I done gave y'all everything, and the moment God do something for me, now all y'all wanna turn into credit repair people? Who get mad and your pain start talking? Yeah, he crazy, but he my crazy. Why y'all can't be happy for me? So all of a sudden, I'm telling my wife, you need to be happy. God opening doors. We ain't got none, yada, yada, yada. Then all of a sudden, a bill came. That note was like $1,200, $1,300 a month. It was like the worst interest ever. I'm sitting there, I'm like, ooh. So I'm calling, hey man, we're gonna have to bring this back. Like, they're like, you can't just bring it back. It's been longer than 30 days. You can't just bring it back. So now this 888 number calling me. Who know what that 888 number is? Anybody know that 888 number? Come on, be honest with me now. So now 888 calling my phone. I ain't never had an 888 number. I'm like, hey, hello, is this Michael McCoy? Yeah, this is Mike. Pastor Mike, how you doing? Yeah, we want to call you in regards to that black Camaro that you have. No, so now here it is. Now I'm having to put the car at somebody's house. That car is kicking my... Did y'all miss the part of the sermon where I said from Inslee? I know what to do now. I know it. Don't let Valleydale fool you. I know what to do now. So now I done put the car at my mama's house. I'm trying to do XYZ. We trying to figure it out. I think I end up selling the car. Something like, but hear me when I say this. That car kicked my butt. And you wanna know what I realized now at 40? Pain picked it. I ain't have nothing. So part of me wanted to at least look. I had started listening to people say, oh, you Pastor Mike. Oh, you Pastor Mike. So I started feeling like I needed something that made me look and feel like Pastor Mike. Till the bill came. I don't want to be him no more. Who don't want to be grown no more? Throw your hand up. I'd gladly go back to my mama's house right now. Why is that important, Pastor Mike? Put this in your notes. Because the enemy loves to convince gifted people that a traumatic chapter should define their whole story. That's what he wants you to do. He wants your pain to pick. He wants to convince you that this chapter of your life defines the whole story of your life. That's critical, wounded and all. So look at this happen. I'm gonna fast forward. We go to verse 1. So one day David asked, is anybody left? Is anybody left? They said, we got Mephibosheth, but he's crippled in both feet. He's crippled, this can preach, but he's called. He's crippled, but he's called. He's crippled, but destiny waiting on him. It's critical now. And sometimes being blessed requires you to win with what you got left. His legs don't work, his feet don't work, but he's anointed. He's gifted, he's favored, he's blessed. This is critical now. And look what he tells him in verse 5. So David sent for him and brought him from Machir's home. I'm finna run. He brought him from Machir. I tell you what, Karan, Grizz, grab T. T gonna be Mephibosheth, okay? Mephibosheth feet don't work. Do me a favor, go. I need you to bring him. Y'all miss y'all shout. Now, I didn't send for him, because if I would have sent for him, I don't know how long it would have took for him to get there. But he said, no, the same folk who was responsible for your trauma gonna have to be responsible for your come up. That's why the same folk who laughed at you in one season gonna have to watch you be blessed in another season. Put scripture on it. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. And he says, now watch this. He says, so I need y'all to bring him to me, but you got to be careful. Do you got a good grip on him? Do you got a good grip on him? Because hear me, you got to make sure the people in your life are strong enough to carry you in seasons where you ain't got enough strength to carry yourself. I'm not preaching to everybody. Can I preach to three of y'all who's always been the strong one, but you had a season in your life where you didn't have the strength to be strong no more, and a part of you was looking like, why won't none of y'all carry me like I carried you? But God said, I'm putting people in your life this year who gonna be strong enough to carry you through the roughest seasons of your life. I'm not weak. Let me free you. To whom it may concern, they're not weak. They are not lazy. They are not selfless. They're just in a season where they don't have the strength to carry themselves. He's crippled where? Not in his legs. He's crippled in his feet. If it was his legs, the Bible would have said it. No, it said he's crippled. When it talked about being pierced in his side, they named a body part. They said they put nails in his hands, they said a body part. They said he's crippled in his feet. No, his legs work. The feet don't. I don't care how strong your legs are. If your feet don't work, you have no stability. I'd rather have strong feet and weak legs than have strong legs and weak feet. Because at least I can stand. He's weak. He's weak. Hear me what's gonna happen now. He says, no, I tell you what. Put verse 5 on the screen. He says, no, bring him. In verse 5, he says, they brought him. And look at the next verse. The next verse says, he looks at him and says, don't be afraid. I want to free you real quickly. Can y'all bring him here? Do me a favor. Can y'all bring him here? Okay, I want to show you something. I want to show you something. This is what's, y'all good, right here? This is where some of y'all fail. Okay. Are y'all still locked in with me? Mephibosheth don't know them. Some of y'all only want to be helped by people you know. What if Mephibosheth would have been like, I don't need to know them the folks who killed my daddy. Them the folk who killed my granddaddy. I ain't got time. I believe Mephibosheth said, what do I got to lose at this point? I'ma die in a dead place, or I will at least die trying to get to a better one. Look what he said. Look what he says. It strings me. He says, I need you to catch this now. He literally says, you got to catch me. He says, don't be afraid. Here's the question I got, and I pray you can receive it. What about his appearance said he was scared? For David to say, don't be afraid, that's indicative of the fact that something in him, oh, you're struggling. You look good. I think you're struggling a little bit. Is he heavy? You want to sit him down real quick so you can reposition yourself? Let's do that. Let's sit him down real quick. I'm sorry. So you want me to be considerate of you while I'm holding on for dear life? You said you got me, right? So you want me to stop hurting long enough for you to get some more strength. If you got me, you got me. And I wish people in your life understood how heavy they were. I'm gonna say that again. They're carrying him. I wish the people in your life understood how heavy they were. Young people, I know you think your parents, my mama don't do X, Y, Z. You don't know how heavy you are. You don't know how much weight it takes to work a job, pay bills, keep you fresh while you talk crazy. You don't know how heavy it is trying to be to you what nobody was to me. I'm trying to be the best big brother to you that I know to be to you. You don't understand how much it took. Nobody was what I'm being to you. It's heavy. People tell me all the time, I wish I could do what you're doing, PMJ. They don't realize it's heavy. He heavy. Can I ask you a question? Are you at least helping them with your weight? Is he holding on? See, because even though people are carrying you, you can do your part too. Yes, I'm a weight, but I don't have to be dead weight. Michael! Scripture, David said, watch this, let's go home. For I will surely show kindness for your father Jonathan. Look what he says. I will restore all the land and you can eat. I tell you what, sit him at the table. At my table. We finna have church by ourselves right here. He said, yeah, I know you living in Lodabar, no pasture, no food, no word. But after today, you're gonna have everything that should have been yours in the first place. If you don't shout for nothing else today, shout that God's giving you back everything that you should have got. Every blessing that's held up is getting ready to hit your life at the same time. Look what he says. He says, the scripture says, you good, man. You will always eat at my table. Now here's what you missed. He said, I'm gonna give you your land back. In those days, you only ate what you farmed. He said, I'm gonna give you the land. This is a business standpoint, right? All my entrepreneurs, listen. You can lease out the land if you want to and make the money. What you eat ain't gonna be based off of what you do. If you never put nothing in the ground, you still gonna eat, because you're gonna eat at my table. So, you want some chicken? Pass the chicken, brother. Oh, yeah, there you go right there. What else you want?
Salad.
Salad, okay, there you go. Potato, you pass those potatoes over there. Thank you. Yams, collard greens, mashed potatoes, beans, greens, potatoes. You name it. There it is, man. Wow. It's crazy, ain't it? It's crazy. Drink, man. Get you something to drink right there, man. Can I ask you a question? Does his legs work? Do my feet work? Does his feet work? How you know? The only people who know his feet don't work are the people from his past. When people in his new season walk up to him, they not gonna see his feet. They gonna see where he's seated. And God told me to tell you gotta heal, because the people you about to meet not gonna see you for who you used to be. They gonna see you for who you are about to be. Am I preaching to anybody? You ain't gotta walk around down. I'm at the table. I'm at the table. Every entrepreneur should have heard me when I say that. You don't know who bringing what to the table. You just know we all at the table. We all at the table. I decree and declare, stop introducing yourself based off of your old hurt. Stop telling new people what you went through 7 years ago. They weren't there and you don't look like it anyway. When they see you, you just need to walk in what God's getting ready to call you to be. All things are passed away, and behold, all things are made. And this is the picture. The only way they gonna know his feet don't work is if somebody unveil it. Can I free you though? Bro, even if somebody new saw him being carried and wanted to disrespect him, they wouldn't. Because an assault on the king's friends is an assault on him. So back in the day, if you looked at a guard, one of the king's guard, and you pushed him, you got put to death. Because if you touch my people, that means you'll touch me. Watch this. So now, even the people who would have treated him bad for his deficiency got to treat him better because of the proximity he has to the anointing. Now hear me when I say this. I know you've been through a lot. And I want to say this, you got a right to be bitter about some stuff. I check myself daily. Daily. But you know what? I'm at the table. And I'm telling you, you're at the table. And what God is doing in your life, I want you to put this in your phone. And I'm sending you home on this. The blessing isn't random, it's positional. God places you where favor can find you. So if you're gonna live blessed and not bitter, it's 3 things we have to do. Number 1, release who dropped you. You gotta release who dropped you. Why, PMJ? We often feel like we're owed an apology, an explanation, or acknowledgement. But the truth is you can't be blessed and bitter at the same time. I know some of you are saying, baby girl, but they're gonna apologize to me. They don't have to. I just wanna know why. No, that's a trap. They need to at least acknowledge for what? Forgiveness is not saying that they were right. It's saying that their actions will no longer control my life. I've forgiven people and not spoke to them. I don't even need a conversation with you to forgive you. Number 2, receive where God has placed you. You are not in Lodabar anymore. Your environment is shifting, your identity is shifting, and your language is shifting. Act like it. I don't carry myself like that no more. I blocked one of the biggest blessings in my life about 9 years ago. Just talking wrong. We were so young, and I can remember, man, we was meeting millionaires after millionaires. God was putting us in rooms where it was people who could write one check and change your whole life. Your whole life. Your whole life. I can tell you story after story of me explaining to them, well, I'm not really about money, so we don't really have the money we need, and, getting finance ain't really, and I never get the man was like, I ain't heard this many can'ts in my life. And you would think after he lectured me, he would bless me. He's like, no, man, but you got to believe in yourself before somebody believe in you. My family didn't really have a home at one point. It was all over the place. And we had met this family who had this multi-million-dollar house. And I'm crazy. When I tell you I'm crazy, I walked up to the family, I want you to give me this house. I said, you're going to hold a mortgage for me. We're going to figure this thing out. And they said, you know what? We finna pray about it because we own houses all over the... I'm like, oh my God. And they went and checked my website. And on my website, I was like, we gonna have no debt. We're gonna do XYZ, no XYZ. But I never updated the website for like 3 years. Just like, we don't want to go against your vision. We really believe in structure and order. And I couldn't even tell them, like, what it said was, you don't believe in your vision enough to keep your vision up to date. You're carrying yourself like you're in Lodabar. Stop rehearsing where you came from and start embracing where God has placed you. Stop rehearsing where you came from and start embracing where God has placed you. That's critical. It's critical. Why? Because you're too blessed to be bitter. Number 3, return to the table. Being blessed means choosing restoration over retaliation. Ooh. Healing over hostility. Wholeness over revenge. You belong at the table, not in the memory of what hurt you. Your seat is not based on your condition. Your seat is based on your covenant. Let me end with this note. The drop may have changed how you walk, but the blessing is about to change where you sit. Father, in Jesus' name, I pray that we leave here today acknowledging the places of our life where we were dropped. God, I pray that we don't leave here acknowledging the place. I pray that we don't leave here acknowledging the places we were dropped and then feeling sorry about them. But God, something in us to say, you know what, where God has taken me, I'm free from that. I pray that we don't leave here dwelling on it, but we leave here rejoicing. Like, God, you allowed me to survive that. And I thank you for every mountain you brought me over and every valley that you took me through. God, we give you all the honor, glory, and praise in Jesus' name. And everybody said,
Galatians chapter 3, verses 15 through 16. Once you got it, shout, I got it. If you have a physical Bible, lift it in the air. I'm pushing my church to have Bibles. Look at you right there. Physical Bible. Let's do that. I know your deeds. They are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. In other words, God says, stop fronting. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out. I know your deeds, that you are neither hot nor cold. I wish you were either one. I wish you were either one or the other. Look at your neighbor, say, neighbor, if I have to be one or the other, I'm not going down. It's time to level up. You may be seated. I want to teach today from the topic, level up, level up, level up. I want you to take really, really, really good notes. Level up, level up. So in your notes, I want you to title today's message, Level Up. Here for my note takers, the sin of deliberate mediocrity. The sin of deliberate mediocrity. Family, let me ask you a hard question today, and please answer it for me if you can. When did average become acceptable? When did just enough become good enough? When did we start calling bare minimum holy just because we're tired, traumatized, or comfortable? See, I believe, put this in your notes, one of the greatest enemies to purpose is not failure, it's settling. One of the greatest enemies to purpose is not failure, it's settling. Not because you don't have the gift, not because you don't know the call, but because you've made a decision to stay safe instead of being stretched. Hear me, mediocrity is not a condition, it's a choice. Mediocrity is not a condition, it's a choice. And when you deliberately choose not to maximize what God gave you, that's not humility, it's not wisdom, it's called disobedience. Whenever you deliberately choose not to maximize what God called you, that's called disobedience. Because God doesn't call us to be comfortable. You had to be here last week for this. He calls us to be consecrated. And to be consecrated means God pulls you out, sets you apart for his specific use. And if you were here last week, you're going to catch this. And whenever God sees someone using you for other than what he called you, God intervenes. You're not going to like me for the second week in a row, but it's cool. Your relationship didn't fail because of you or them. It failed because of him. God knew you being with them would cause you to settle for less than what I called you to be. And only 3 people gonna say amen, 2 people in the balcony, 4 people in the chat, and 1 person in overflow. You can call me a lot of things. Call me ugly, call me arrogant, call me whatever you want, but it's one thing you will never call me: a settler. I am allergic to average. I am allergic to mediocrity. Matter of fact, you don't have to have nothing to be around me, but you at least got to want something. And I came to preach to 3 people early this morning who can declare all this week something in my spirit been telling me it's so much more in store for me. That's why my job is irritating me. That's why my house starting to feel small. That's why my taste is exceeding my bank account, because something in me is saying there has to be more. He does not expect perfection. Can you put this in your notes? But he does expect progress. Michael, he does not expect perfection, but he does expect progress. I said this every year. It's certain things I'm going to say every year. I do my best to inculcate you with as much knowledge as possible, okay? There is, right? This is not on the screen. No neutrality in Christianity. Please hear me. Some of y'all looking at me like, Pastor, that's good. Some of y'all looking at me like, Pastor, that's deep. Some of y'all looking at me like, spell neutrality. Throw your hand up if that was you. I don't know how to spell it either. I just know how to say it. Just do like I do. When I don't know how to spell something, put in a T. There is no neutrality in Christianity. All right, get in your car. Get in your car, okay? Do me a favor. Get in your car. Boom. All right, close the door. Boom. All right, now put your seatbelt on. Whoosh, okay? All right, that's the number 1 mistake with Christians. You get in your car, you put your seatbelt on. Did you know a lot of people across the world die every year while wearing a seatbelt? Which means it's possible to be safe and still miss it. And so the spirit of neutrality, say that better, Michael. The spirit of neutrality prioritizes comfort over calling. So you put your seatbelt on, boom, okay? You put your key in the ignition, boom, okay? All right, now do me a favor. The first thing you become once you get going is what? Parked. If you want to go forward, you put it in what? If you want to go back, you put it in. Do me a favor. What's the use of neutral? Will neutral make you go forward, or will neutral make you go backwards? It depends on the surface you on. And if your circle and your environment is a surface, if everybody around you going backwards and you in neutral, you gonna do what they do. But if you hanging with people who going forward, and what I'm trying to get you to realize is too many people. I have to watch y'all because y'all are making me preach. Too many people who call themselves Christian are in neutral. And God is saying, I do not need perfection, but I do desire progress. And when you know better, and you choose to stay small, that is not just a missed opportunity. It's called a sin. I be setting y'all up, boy. Yeah. See, I'm gonna say this again. When you know better and you choose to stay small, it's not just called a missed opportunity. It's called a sin. If I'm in McDonald's drive-thru and Holy Spirit convicts me to pray with the lady in the window, and I say to myself, I don't know this lady, I'm not gonna do that, and I keep going, I didn't miss an opportunity. I was disobedient to the Spirit. By default, that makes that A. Sex ain't the only thing that's gonna send you to hell. Y'all don't like me today. Y'all don't like me today. No, this past week at Bible study, we crept up on something that shifted the whole atmosphere. We had no idea we was gonna creep into it. It was something called the spirit of anticipation. And anticipation is a faith posture where you're not just believing God will do it, it's behaving, Michael, like it already has. It's not just believing that God will do it, it's behaving like he already has. And when we tiptoe into the corridors of today's text, we find ourselves situated and acculturated in Revelation. And it is in Revelation chapter 3, verses 15 through 16, that the text tells us, I know your deeds. They are neither cold nor hot. I wish you were either one or the other. So because you are lukewarm, neither hot nor cold, I am about to spit you out of my mouth. This message is spoken by Jesus himself to the church at Laodicea. I need you to catch this. Now, this is critical. Why? A wealthy, self-sufficient city. Look at what they had. They had money. They had status. They had resources. I'm going to say it again. They had money. They had status. They had resources. I'm going to say it again. They drove nice. They ate nice. They lived nice. I'm going to say it again. They lived over the mountain. They vacationed where they want to. They drove what they want to drive, but they didn't have spiritual fire. I'm going to say this, only three of y'all going to mess with me when I say this. What's finna ruin many of our lives is cosmetic Christianity. It's this idea that you can be all regular as you want to be, but when you step outside the house, you put your faith on. Notice I didn't say your face, I said your fake on. No, it is cosmetic Christianity. No, you're not blessed because of what you drive. You're not blessed because of where you live. Hear me, money, status, resources, influence is not the barometer for your faith. It is something called spiritual fire. Please put this in your notes. Spiritual fire is the evidence of a divine encounter. Michael, spiritual fire is the evidence of a divine encounter. In the scripture, fire is often a symbol of, you want to take good notes today, here we go. Fire is often a symbol of, biblically, God's presence. I'm going to run by myself today. Exodus chapter 3, he shows up as fire in the burning bush. Moses is being called by God. Moses, do y'all hear me? Is being called by God. And God shows up as fire in a burning bush. Oh, okay, I don't know where you come from. I live on 280 now, and it's different out here. It's different out here. Where I grew up, we had dogs that ran loose. Out here, they have deer. It's very different. I think I'm more scared. I saw a TikTok this week of this deer just beating somebody up. I was like, the devil is a lie. I've been looking both ways all week. I don't have hands like that. That deer looked at me. I looked at him. I said, you can have this whole neighborhood. But we had dogs. These dogs would chase you all over. I noticed everybody out here, grass is nice. Yeah, they be out there picking it with pliers, picking it with tweezers. Everybody standing in the yard. They got yard men. Everybody grass got them waves. You know them waves, them lines in it. I'm like, oh man, it's different out here. Don't nobody, I'm finna take you way back, burn leaves. When my hood saint said, throw your hands up right there. See, the neighborhood I grew up in, at any given moment, you would see somebody outside raking leaves. And then 20 minutes later, you would just see everybody standing there looking at them. Because whatever fire touches, it consumes. But when we see God, Michael, show up at fire in the burning bush, watch this. He's fire inside of a bush, but the bush is not consumed. I'm gonna say it again. The bush should be burning up, because whatever fire fire touches, it consumes. PMJ, why doesn't the bush consume? It's because the bush wasn't trying to be anything other than a bush. The bush knew as long as I be a bush and let God do what he doing, I'ma be okay. That's why you have to stop being jealous of what you see them carrying. What they carry could possibly consume you. I just need you to reach over that neighbor and high five another neighbor and tell them, don't covet what I'm carrying. My oil may be too heavy for you. My favor may be too draining to you. My anointing may have you depressed because I was called to carry. Fire. Exodus 3, put this in your notes, it's God's presence. Acts chapter 2, fire is God's power. When the fire descended at Pentecost on their tongue, they began to speak in tongues. Malachi 3, fire is God's purity. It's like a refining fire. Jeremiah 20, we're gonna have a Baptist Sunday one Sunday because this new school church we got, I'd be having to work too hard. If this was Rock City Missionary Baptist Church, all I would have to say is, number one, fire is God's presence. Number two, fire is God's power. Number three, fire is God's purity. But I like the fourth thing, because Jeremiah said it's like, shut up! Stop. So look at it. It's God's presence, number one. Number two, what is it? God's power. No, do me a favor, in your notes, whenever you tag me in your notes, I actually read them, okay? This is important because you just can't say fire is presence. Whose presence? So fire is God's presence. Number two, according to Exodus 3, scripture is important. My generation and the generation after me don't know word. We quoting what we heard, and you can't live off a quoted scripture. Know the word. So you got to say fire according to Exodus 3 is God's presence. Fire according to Acts chapter 2 is God's power. Fire according to Malachi chapter 3 is God's purity. And fire according to Jeremiah 20 is God's passion. Spiritual fire is the internal ignition of divine purpose, fueled by intimacy with God. Fire represents passion, listen to me, that produces movement. Some of us are cool with being average because we don't have fire. Fire is not quiet, it burns, it moves stuff, it transforms what it touches. When you've got spiritual fire, you don't just talk about God, you start to look like God, love like God, live like God. This ain't emotional hype. I'm not telling you I want you on fire. That's the problem with church right now. We've said stuff for years, but then now we take it out of context. I need the church on fire. You think that means excited. Excitement, put this in your notes. It's not on the screen. We're going to figure it out together. Those are some nice notes. Wow. Excitement and passion look alike, but they ain't the same. Excitement and passion look alike, but they not the same. Excitement needs something to happen. I get excited when I'm at a restaurant and I see them come out the back. And it's like your discernment kick on and you can know, that's my food right there. I get excited when I finally sign and get that car and they pull it round to the front after they done washed it and it got that new car smell. Then you get in the car and you get on, girl, just pick me up something new now. I'm finna come by there. I get excited when my check drop till the bills come out. Who get excited won't pay? On Thursday, you're like, oh, we get paid tomorrow. Who be excited? And then all of a sudden, Apple take their stuff. Then certain bills come out. And then now you what? Ain't excited no more. See, the reason excitement and passion ain't the same is because excitement needs something, but then disappointment can take it. Passion is fueled. I'm going to read this to you. What is it fueled by, PMJ? I need you to catch this. It is fueled by an internal combustion. What does that mean, PMJ? That produces external obedience. Excitement is built from what happens on the outside. Passion is stirred from what's happening on the inside. This is why you can chase stuff that you're passionate about, even when it ain't producing nothing you can touch. I just said something to 3 of y'all. That's for 7 entrepreneurs who passionate about your business and passionate about your future and passionate about your purpose, yet it ain't producing no money. So when people around you see it, they can't figure out why you so passionate about it, because when they look at it, if it ain't giving you nothing, why are you excited about it? I'm not excited about it. I'm passionate about it. Meaning if I win, I'm gonna be on fire, but even if I lose, I'm gonna be on. Y'all don't like me today. Hear me when I say this. Why is this important, PMJ? Because they got everything they could ever want, but no spiritual fire. So what does spiritual fire look like in the life of a believer today, PMJ? Here it is. Put this in your notes. Consistent prayer. Not just prayer in a crisis. Here's how I want you to put in your notes. Consistent prayer versus crisis prayer. Some of us are a crisis prayer warrior. You only pray when something's wrong. If you thought about it right now, PMJ ain't trying to trip. I ain't really prayed since my last problem. And if I'm a crisis prayer warrior, and the only time I talk to God is when there's a problem, maybe that's why God just sent you a problem. If you won't come to me, I'll make you run to me. Michael. Michael. No, so what does spiritual fire look like? Are you taking good notes? Number 1, consistent prayer. Number 2, conviction, not convenience. Conviction is a good thing. Conviction is a good thing. Conviction is proof that the Holy Spirit is still at work in your life. I don't want you out here cussing and acting a fool and living wild and doing whatever you want to do. No. But you want to know what I do thank God for? That conviction. I thank God that when you do slip up and cuss, oh God forgive me. That's conviction. That when you do wrong, some hit your spirit. That's conviction. Number 3, obedience, not just opinion. Obedience. Obedience. Number 4, hunger for God's word. When I tell my friends stuff like, when I tell pastors I know, man, how things going at Rock City, this is what I've been saying lately. Hey, we on fire. They was like, oh, so y'all got a lot of people coming. No, it ain't about that. No, hear me when I say this. No, it ain't about that. No, it's because I'm feeling what I feel on Wednesday, on Sunday. No, I wake up every morning and I get on Devo Energy, and I'm seeing people on Devo Energy every morning on fire. It is a hunger for the word of God. I'm going to say that again. It is the hunger. I want to put that back on the screen. I want them to see that really, really good, okay? Hunger for the word of God, not just Sunday sermons. I want to say something real good. I talk about God. I'm not God. I'm going to say that again. I talk and teach about God, but I am not God. Please stop coming to my church if you are more excited to hear from me than to hear from him. Don't do that to me. I'm going to say that again. Please stop coming to my church if you are more excited to hear from me than you are to hear from God. That is not flattering to me. That does not make me feel good on the inside. You want to know why? Because if you are running to me more than you run to God, that makes me God's opposition. So then God will shut me down so he can be back in the place he needs to be in your life. I can be your preacher, I can be your pastor, I can be your shepherd, I can be your teacher, but I can't be your God. Am I preaching to anybody? That's why my name ain't on the building. It don't say Rock City Church, Michael D. McClure, Senior Pastor. My name ain't on the building. This is his church. And what I've discovered is in this 21st century Christendom, we are stopped becoming preachers and becoming famous artists. We are becoming public figures, and everybody's worried about what my followers look like, what my views look like, what my members look like, what my money look like. And what I've discovered is God is not looking for who can say it better. He's looking for somebody who can be a lifter. Because the word says, if I, Michael, when I be lifted up. People ain't coming to this church because I preach that good. They coming to this church because it's a room full of people who are lifting them up. Now, I know this ain't new school, but in the old school church, Grandma would have said, I wonder, will you help me lift Jesus? And I need 30 seconds of people who can say, I didn't come here for no PMJ. I didn't come here to be seen. I came to get a word. Just touch somebody and tell them I'm hungry. That's the wrong somebody. Touch somebody, tell them I'm hungry. Touch somebody else, tell them I'm hungry. Touch somebody else, tell them I'm hungry. Touch somebody else and tell them I'm hungry. Touch somebody, tell them I'm hungry. Tell somebody I'm hungry. Tell them I'm... What you be doing all week? I don't even see you no more. Well, on Sunday, I be eating the word. On Monday and Tuesday, Devo Energy, eating the word. On Wednesday, All Access, eating the word. Thursday, Friday, Devo Energy, eating the word. On Saturday, I'm waiting on the door to open. So on Sunday, I'm hungry. Now put this in your notes. Leslie, put this in the notes for the next sermon. If I'm hungry, I need discernment. Why do I need discernment? You ready for this? Okay, you ready? Put, if I'm hungry, I need discernment to know what's healthy and what's junk. Michael, what's healthy and what's junk? Hear me, okay? I don't know. I got to get used to my church being out here on Valleydale Road with all of these wealthy members. You know, all of y'all are wealthy. Y'all don't even know when to say I received it. Y'all laughing. I was like, that in my pocket, I received. So now that we're out here on Valleydale Road, out here with all of you wealthy members, I just don't know if y'all understand me no more. Me being from Inslee and you being out here with all this wealth, I know when you get hungry, you just eat. See, but being where I'm from, in the urban community, my mama would take us places. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm finna start some family mess right here, okay? On Thanksgiving, we would wake up. My mama would get us dressed, put Vaseline all over our face, okay? All right, then we would have to sit on the couch so we ain't mess our clothes up. And she would tell us in the car, because what back in the day, this is how they did it. Mama and the kids, when they got in the car, then daddy would be locking up the house, he would come. So then before he got in the car, mama would say, hey, when we get to your grandma's house, which is my daddy's mama, don't eat nothing. Grandmama, I know you watch church, but I'm gonna tell you, she would say, don't eat nothing. You know his mama can't cook. I'm starting family mess right there, okay? You know they can't cook. Everybody just bringing food, and they just be letting everybody bring food. I ain't seen a warmer. It's just food on the thing. It used to just be food on the counter. It wasn't no warmers, no burners. You don't know when it got set there. You just get there, and they was tearing it up. She'd be in the car like, when we get over here, your daddy gonna act like it's so good. This is what he grew up on. Don't touch it. When we get to my mama house, y'all can eat. All right, but here go the problem. We was pastors' kids. So when you, back in the day, see, this is why I need an old school church. Back in the day, the pastor would visit members' church on holiday. They house on holiday. So we would go to the Samuel's house, boom. Then we would go to Artist Jenkins' house, boom. Then we go to the Mays' house, boom. Then we go to all these houses. Then we go to this mama house. So by the fifth house, me and D in the car like, bro, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And then D would be over there staring at the table because he was the child who would say, my mama said I can't eat at y'all house. So my mama would keep D close. And we sitting there, then my daddy would look at, y'all better eat something, but we cool. We just go outside, play football, because my mama taught me a very valuable lesson at 11. You can't eat at everybody's table. Pastor Mike, what that got to do with the message? You can't be watching 25 different YouTube sermons and thinking you're going to be healthy. You don't know if that's fullness or junk. Find you a teacher. Find you a rabbi. Find you a prophet who speaks to your life. Y'all don't hear me in here. So I'm not sick because I done ate this at this house. Then ate this at this house. I gotta have hunger for the word. Here's another one. I need boldness in witness. My God. Not fear of offense. No, if you got a spiritual fire, you should be inviting people. Yeah, you shouldn't be coming to church alone. You're like, who riding with me? Who riding with me? I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. I be having members inbox me now like it's 6 of us who come down from Atlanta. It's 5 of us who come down from Huntsville. It's 4 of us who drive down from so-and-so. Or we come down from Louisville. I got a boldness in witness. A boldness in witness. Oh my God. Here's another one. I got urgency and purpose. Spiritual fire turns consumers into carriers. You want to know my problem with the New School Church? We consume a lot of word. I'm not sure we carry word. That was good. We consume word. Do I carry it? All right, put this in your notes. I'll make it simple. Consume the word means I listen to messages. Carry the word. Am I sharing the word? That's why when I see your notes online, I'm like, oh, they carry it. That's when I see, yeah, I'm loving what I'm seeing, especially in this 25 to 40 range with men right now. I'm seeing all these young brothers on fire for God. I'm seeing brothers now inbox me like, hey, me and my partner, I'm getting inboxed video. Hey, PMJ, sitting here with me and my partner. You said something about so-and-so, so-and-so. I can't say it like you said. Tell him what you said. And I'm not, hey, man, he said so-and-so, so I tried to tell him right here. They put the camera on his face. Him right here. That's a fire. That's a fire. The other night I got home late and I walked downstairs. The boys are super loud. It's summertime. They loud. I walk down the steps. They doing some type of YouTube trivia on the word. And they down there. When I say compete, I thought they was playing spades. All I hear is, no, you wrong, you wrong, no, you wrong, no, you wrong, no, you ain't. Leah wasn't like that. Rachel was like that. I'm like, whoa, are they fighting over a woman? I didn't realize the scripture was, who did Jacob love first? Was it Rachel or Leah? And they, no, it's A, it's B. And I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like, yeah. Now let me free you. That didn't just come because they daddy are pastors. Because preachers' kids be the worst. I was one of them. That came because they in youth church on Wednesday night and they walking through the word with their peers. So Pastor Mike, can I be honest? Who's lost their passion and their fire? Pastor Mike, what kills fire? I tell you, it's right here on your screen. Number 1, here's what kills fire: compromise. I haven't even got out my intro yet. Y'all, compromise. Compromise causes slow leaks of holiness. That's heavy. Slow leaks of holiness. See, compromise starts with something simple and it grows to something drastic. Compromise will start with a smile and end with an affair. Compromise will start with the I'll just watch online this week and end with the I ain't watched or been there in 6 months. You want to know the danger of compromise? You don't realize you've done it till you feel it. I'm preaching today. I'm preaching today. I'm finna get in the portal. I'm finna get in the transfer portal. If y'all don't start having church with me, y'all gonna see me on ESPN at second Tabernacle in Houston in a minute. No, compromise starts. You don't feel it. You don't recognize you compromise till you feel it. I ain't know I got that. When I look back at pictures, this time last year, I was preparing for the tour. Oh my God. Man, I was eating right, no meat, no carbs. I'm walking on the treadmill singing, I got it, you got it, you got it. And it's gonna be, because I gotta do 45 minutes, 30 times. I'm like, I'm gonna be ready. When I get, oh my God, I ain't know. Till 2 weeks ago, when I was like, Terrell, wear that shirt I wore in Cincinnati. Now I won't even button. Till baggy jeans become skinny jeans. You don't know till you, now I'm sitting back like, oh my God. And I can remember the day I compromised. I remember we had just finished the Atlanta show. The first half of the tour was over. We had just finished that tour. Was so much. It was so taxing. That night, I was like, look, man, I'm done with the tour. Bring me something to eat. We left, went directly to Wendy's. The next day, I took the whole family to Universal Studios. So in Orlando, guess what I was doing? Eating. Came out of there, guess what I was doing? Eating. Then it was time to go on the second tour. I was like, well, cool, ain't that big. The shirt wasn't loose. It was a little tight. See, but that's what your life looked like. And you know what the devil do? He makes compromise feel so good. Ooh, I gotta stop right there. Oh my God, compromise. Number 2, comfort. I'm not gonna get to my message today. Comfort, being too full for God to feed you. What kills fire? Comfort. Comfort. You too full. You full of the tea. Full of whatever mess you just heard. Full of yourself. Full of pride. Full of arrogance. You know what the devil does now? He takes a step back. See, the devil don't have to attack you if you attacking you. No, number 3, comparison. Comparison. Measuring your fire by someone else's. I thought I was on fire for God, and I went on a little fast. So I said I was gonna fast from 12 noon to so and so. But my friend on an absolute fast. All they do is water. I ain't on fire like them. Says who? So you woke up excited to come to church, and the Spirit got moving, and now you in church like, Father, thank you, yes, God. Thank you, Jesus. But then the person next to you, and now you sitting there like, man, I got to get on fire. They live crazy. Loud don't mean power. Y'all miss what I just said right there. Loud don't mean power. Hear me. So now you're comparing. I did an interview this week and they asked me, so Pastor Mike, compared to other churches, how do you feel? And I said, I honestly don't know what other churches are doing. I'm not up all night searching to see who got, hear me, when I tell you I'm so locked in. 5 o'clock I'm up, by 5:30 I'm praying, by 6:30 I'm trying to get out the door. I'm here, I'm walking through trying to make sure so-and-so, I'm looking at my word, talking it over with the team, making sure I ain't got no biblical errors, that my opinion ain't trumping what the word actually says. Then once I do that right there, because I'm accountable in my preaching too. So I make sure, boom, did this sound good? Did this sound good? Okay, boom, boom, boom. Then I do that. Then I watch my pastor's service. See, because I'm not just over people, I'm under somebody. So even if you come in my office, my pastor's on the screen preaching, and I press pause. Then I pray with this group. Then I meet with the production team. Then I pray with the choir. I led them in worship this morning. So the whole choir came together, and I led a song and led them in worship. Then I walk back down and speak life over them. Then I try to come back here. Then I get out of church. I'm gonna spend time with the boys, and I'm gonna do so and so. I'm not trying to compare. Some of you need to mute some people on socials. They putting your fire out. You be excited about certain stuff. Well, I only got 75 views. That's a lot of people. But you can't even enjoy what you got because you're too busy looking at what other people got. And you don't even realize what they got, they paid for. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Complacency. That's the next one. Complacency. I am not teaching you what I learned. I am teaching you what I've lived. Complacency is believing this is good enough. Oh, God, I wish I had more time. Hear me? Y'all be telling me, keep on preaching till you sitting in traffic. He knew he should have let us out. Y'all be on Valley Deal like this don't make no sense right here. Now you remember that when you sit in traffic. No, hear me when I say that. I'm compromised as a slow leak. I have compromised. I have been guilty of comfort. We got this building and I slipped. Oh, we done made it. I slipped. And I looked up, I was like, whoa. So why do you think, let me show you a difference between your pastor and a lot of people. Why you think I pulled I don't press the brake. I pulled an emergency. We're stopping this now. Why you think out of nowhere, hey, God bless, do me a favor, every Saturday we need to pray. Because we're doing a whole lot of production with no power. So hey, do me a favor. Every Saturday we praying. Yep, bring Bible study back. Let's get in the word. Pastor Mike want to give you all this money to go on tour in 2025. God bless you. No, turn that down. I need to be at church. Because I start slipping. I compromised. And see, compromise ain't always, well, he did something wrong. I compromise because I ain't do enough. Y'all don't hear me in here. No. How? I think last year, 13,000 people joined the church, 14, 15,000 people joined the church, and I can't honestly say I know where they at. I let 4 rooms make me think we have a strong church. Growth is not based off of who show up. And see, when the fire goes out, put this in your notes, mediocrity moves in. Mediocrity moves in not because you're empty, but because you stopped expecting to be full. So what does that mean, PMJ? I want you to put this in your notes. The enemy doesn't have to kill your purpose. He just has to convince you to live beneath it. He don't have to kill your purpose. He just has to convince you to live beneath it. He just has to make you believe coming to church is enough. I go to church. What that mean? What that mean? Do me a favor.
Who got a garage at home? When you go home, go stand in it. Will that make you a car? Who got a kitchen? Does that make you a chef? Who got curlers? Does that make you a stylist? So what does sitting in here for 90 minutes make you? It's not just coming to church. It's surrendering to a process that makes you transformed. So Pastor Mike, what does spiritual fire look like? I done ran out of time. Number one, consistent prayer. That's what it looks like. Consistent prayer. I've already told you this, right? Conviction, obedience, hunger for God's word, boldness and witness, urgency and purpose. So what does that mean? It was Elton Trueblood who said, deliberate mediocrity is a sin. So what is mediocrity? What is mediocrity? What is mediocrity? Mediocrity means choosing the middle when you've been graced for greatness. Choosing the middle when you've been graced for greatness. It's settling for safe, comfortable, or easy instead of excellent, faithful, and fruitful. Deliberate mediocrity means you know you could do more, but you won't. This is going to be good today. Deliberate mediocrity means you know you could do more, but you won't. Not because you can't, but because fear, laziness, people-pleasing, and or apathy have become your ceiling. See, mediocrity is when you choose the greatest version of yourself will be a lazy one. The greatest version of yourself will be a people pleaser. Why is it a sin, PMJ? Because of James 4:17. 4:17, look at what it says right there on your screen. So whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him, it is a sin. The worst thing some of y'all could have ever did was come to church. Had you never came to church and you never would have knew, you would be fine in certain things. Once you come into the light of it, it is now a sin. When we intentionally underperform, hide our gifts, or ignore the Spirit's leading, we rob God of his glory. This is good. This is good. This is good. And many of us are living, give me 7 minutes. Many of us in the back, 7 minutes. Many of us are living, this is really good, put this in your notes, according to the lie of low expectations. The lie of low expectations. The lie of low expectations is one of the most dangerous deceptions in the kingdom of God. What is it, PMJ? It's the subtle belief that God is okay with just enough. Oh my God. Let's make a deal. Who come in the Bible study this week? Y'all gonna rock with me at Bible study this week, okay? I'm gonna finish this week at Bible study. I'm gonna extend Bible study for another week. Look at me when I say this, okay? It's the subtle belief that God is okay with just enough, that as long as you don't mess up too bad, stay quiet and play it safe, God will be pleased. Y'all don't, this is too good. This is too good. No, as long as I don't mess up too bad, stay quiet and play it safe. Because low expectations aren't humility. They're often fear in disguise. Jesus. Low expectation aren't humility. They're often fear in disguise. Low expectations don't keep you humble. They keep you hidden. And God said, I did not call you to blend in. Too many of you are suffering from anesthetizing conformity. Anesthetizing, anesthesia, conformity. It puts you to sleep. You so busy blending in, you done forgot God called you to break out. I don't know who just caught that word right there. That's why I'm in one of the best places in my life I've ever been in. I am so comfortable being, I am so comfortable right now being a disruptor. I don't do it like them. I'm not going to move like them. Not for the sake of being different. I just am different. So hear me when I say this, according to Luke 12:48, to whom much is given, Much is required. That's important. Why? Jesus teaches us this in the parable of the talents. The servants who buried his talents wasn't just playing it safe. He was rebuked and called wicked. You know this parable where the manager gives 3 servants talents. And one of them buries his and says, hey, sir, I'm giving you back exactly what you gave me. I didn't want to lose it and you be mad at me. Look at what they call him in the text. They rebuke him and call him wicked. Not because he failed, but because he did nothing. This is heavy. God doesn't condemn failure. He confronts stagnation. The servant wasn't punished for losing money. He was punished for refusing to use it. Some of you are catching hell because you won't use what he gave you. TT, come here. Some of y'all catching hell and God is like, okay, come here. Look at it. God is like, God is like, how many times you got to get hit before you use what he gave you? How many times your kids got to catch hell before you become an intercessor? How many times the devil got to run crazy in your life before you stand up in your house and say, right now in the name of Jesus, I come against every generational curse in my house. And God is saying, why get hit if you got a gift? And so now you catch a rhythm. Some of y'all keep catching hell and losing to the same problem year after year. The same person with a different name. The same relationship in a different season. The same mistake in another year. And God is like, this year, at least make the devil get creative. At least make the devil. Do you see what I'm doing? At least this year, if I'm gonna lose, let me lose at something different. Thank you, T. Why? Because in the kingdom of God, inactivity is not innocence. It's an insult. It's an insult. It's an insult that as good as you take notes, you ain't started a note-taking ministry. It's an insult that the world paid you all that money to fix their stuff, and you ain't walked down that aisle yet and said, hey, pastor, let me do this for y'all. It's an insult that you can be in a group thread watching your family be crazy and not step up and try to fix it. He called him wicked, lazy, and worthless. He said, I gave you some talents and you buried it. Wicked, a character flaw. Lazy, work ethic issues. Worthless, no contribution. What you gonna be? Go back for me. What you gonna be? You might have a season where you wicked. You just got some character issues. But I'm busy for you. I'm not lazy. I'm not worthless. What I'm telling you now is, next slide, I want them to see this. Passivity and purpose is rebellion in disguise. So you not being what God called you to be ain't just, well, I'm not ready. Can I free you? You're not gonna be ready. It ain't. I keep trying to tell pastors this. I got so many pastors calling me right now like, bro, just give me the secret sauce. And I'm like, okay, cool. There is no mega church message. Like, it ain't no message I can give you say, you preach this, you're gonna get 20,000. There are people who preach way better than me. Better hearts than me. Better character than me. For some reason, my assignment was different. Did you catch that? And so what I need you to realize is this is the last one of the day, and I'm gonna finish this Wednesday. this Wednesday, I will encourage everybody to be in the building if you can. God can bless a failure. He can't bless a faker. God can bless a failure. He can't bless a faker. He redeems a mistake, but he will confront a missed moment. And what I'm trying to push you to right now, and I'll finish this Wednesday, is too many of us have fallen victim to deliberate mediocrity. You're playing it so safe. I want to ruffle no feathers. And God is like, look at what God calls us. God calls us stuff that irritates people. Light, salt, peculiar. Think about it. God said, no, you royal, but you acting average. Peculiar. Now you crying because people think you different. Light. Now they don't invite you to dark places. Salt. Now people got hated in this system. And I'm looking at you today saying this is the season where I need you to level up. I do not want the best part of this church to be his message. You want to know what I want people? You want to know what I want people to say? It's just some good people over there. Pastor Mike, I went to your church. I came from North Dakota, and I was there, and I raised my hand, and a lady looked at me and said, how long you here for? All right, so let me tell you where to go eat. Go do so-and-so, so-and-so. Take my number down. If you need anything, you let us know. Good people. Good people. Good people. Good people. When I'm talking to coaches now and they telling me about the boys, they tell, hey, so-and-so, so-and-so. Man, that's a good man. Well, all them boys that come from y'all church, them some good man. Well, man, thank you so much. Good people. When I see 100 teenagers every Wednesday downstairs in small groups and praying and talking to God and worshiping, watch this, and praying for each other. That's what I want. Father, in Jesus' name, I call us out of deliberate mediocrity. I pray right now that we understand it's not about perfection, it's about pursuit. That God, you've called us for such a time as this. That Father, in the name of Jesus, I ask right now, number one, that we repent for the seasons and the moments of life we missed. God, from the pulpit to the last pew, to the last viewer, to the last seat in overflow. God, we repent. There were times you called me to pray and I didn't pray. Times you called us to give and we didn't give. Times you called us to move and we stood still. Times when we stood still, when you told us to stand still and we moved. God, so right now from the depths of our heart, we repent. We ask you for grace as we navigate this journey. God, as I'm preaching, God, somebody's heart was stirred today because they know in the depths of their soul, you're calling them to more. God, and this just isn't this idea that I need more money and I need more exposure and I need more followers and I need more. No, that's small. You're calling us to more prayer, more word, more obedience. And for that, God, our answer will forever be yes to your will, your word, and your way. It's in the mighty name of Jesus we pray. And the church said,